It's 10 a.m., July 23, 2015. The July session of the Special Magistrate for the City of Oviedo is now in session for hearing. Today we have, I see on the agenda, a couple of items. The first item is case number CE 15-000788, involves Randall Herring, Sr. and Susan D. Herring. The property is 1040 Burnett Street, Oviedo, Florida 32765. Tax parcel number 232131 502-00000470. The allegations are a violation of Section 46-19 of the City's Code of Ordinances and Section 50-49B of the City's Code of Ordinances. Is there anyone here on behalf of the City? All right, Mr. Orioles, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Is there anyone here today on behalf of Mr. Herring or Mrs. Herring? Seeing no one in attendance for the respondents, Mr. Orioles, what is the City's case on this one?
Good morning, Your Honor. Jim Orioles, representing the City in case number 15-000788, 1040 Burnett Street. Violations of 46.19 and 50.49. Basically, Your Honor, in plain language, what the case is about this morning is a gentleman who's running a landscape business from his home, parking his equipment all over the street, loading and unloading his equipment on a daily basis in front of the home. And he has no license to do business. He has paid no tax receipt. He has paid no local business tax, therefore has no tax receipt for operating his business. I have a packet of evidence for Your Honor. I have 40 pages to enter for Your Honor, if I may approach.
Yes, please. All right, let me take a quick look at this. All right, you say it's 40 pages?
Yes, sir.
All right, it will be received in evidence as the City's exhibit. All right, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. The first document that Your Honor sees in the packet is the property appraiser sheet showing that the property is in fact owned by the Herrings, Randall, and Susan. The next item is the copy of the proper ordinance for 4619. If you see down the bottom, no person shall engage in or manage any business, profession, or occupation within the city unless tax applicable therefore has been paid and a business tax receipt therefore has been issued. And also 5049, which speaks of parking in the right-of-way, parking trailers and trucks adjacent to residentially zoned property.
These are multiple vehicles?
Yes, sir.
Are these on the street or on?
Yes, sir. On the street.
Okay, sir.
The next printout I have for Your Honor is in Business Master File Inquiry, which shows at 1040 Burnett Street there have been 2 home occupations, but neither of them are current and neither of them are for a landscaping business. Top 2 items there. This case started out, Your Honor, with a letter, an anonymous letter we got from a realtor, and I'm just entering that into evidence just to point out how we got this. And in the letter, the realtor states there's 2 vehicles belonging to a company called Florida Landscape Experts, one a truck and trailer combination loaded with cut-up tree limbs, and the other a utility truck loaded with irrigation pipe. And in the next paragraph, he says he found that Florida Landscape Experts is apparently conducting a business from residents within the Alafaya Woods subdivision. 3 internet listings in business were easily found on Angie's List, Google Maps, and Google+. the reason for this letter, and as you see, it went to the mayor and went to various people within the city. He was complaining that he believed he lost a sale in the neighborhood because of these trucks and being on the street. The next two items,
All
Your
right.
Honor, we
Just
don't
for the
want-
record, Mr. Orioles, I'm receiving this letter from the Realtor solely for the purpose of establishing notice to the city of the violation. Of course, I cannot accept, because it's hearsay, the truth of the matters contained in it.
Yes, sir.
All right, just for the record.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. The next two items are advertisements from Google and Google Plus that we got. We don't belong to Angie's List, so I couldn't get an Angie's List listing, but are two advertisements from Google which list Florida landscape experts at 1040 Burnett Street with their phone number. The next pictures, Your Honor, are various pictures of the trucks, the trailers that are parked on Covington Street, which is a street that meets Burnett Street. They park them in different places on Covington Street and Burnett Street, and you'll see the equipment that's in the front of the house kept there on a daily basis. They load in the morning and unload in the evening. The workers' cars are parked on the different various streets. They come there, they report to work there in the morning, they pick up the equipment, and they leave. All the pictures represent the equipment that's parked on the street adjacent to residential properties. The next three items that Your Honor has
Well,
are...
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I see this photo here of vehicles apparently parked on the side of the house. Is that also a violation of city land development code?
That's offered as proof that they are in fact, conducting a business that's not equipment that would be for a normal homeowner. A normal homeowner might have a push mower on the side of his house or a small rider, but this is not the equipment that would typically be.
But that's not in and of itself a land
No, sir.
development code issue. Okay.
The next three items, Your Honor, are printouts from the state of Florida vehicle details, and just to show the three of the vehicles, one a trailer, two of the trucks, are in fact registered to just Elijah Herring and Randall Wayne Herring. On June the 4th, we sent a notice of violation with a correction date of June the 14th to cease running a business in the city without a tax receipt and stop parking the vehicles on the street. We have the certified mailing receipt. We never received the green card back, Your Honor. However, we have a printout from the United States Postal Service which says that certified letter was in fact delivered on June the 6th. On the next several pictures, again, are taken from the 15th, the day after and the 16th, the day after the correction was to be made, and it was not made.
Okay,
We sent a notice of hearing.
Just 1 second.
Yes, sir.
What was the date for correction in the letter?
On the 14th.
Okay.
We sent a notice of hearing. We fill out an affidavit of violation notice of hearing for the June 16th hearing. I'll get it right. And those papers were not picked up. Just as an aside, Your Honor, we have tried at least half a dozen times to make contact with the respondent. We've knocked on the door. I've knocked on the door so many times that the little dogs don't bark at me anymore. And we have had no success in making any contact with the Herrings. They have eluded, so to speak, any attempts by anybody to deliver any mail to them. We posted the property. We sent it first class. We sent it posted at City Hall as per statute 162. And, Your Honor, will see I have an affidavit of service attesting to the fact, and also the applicable section of 162 that points out that that was proper service for this case.
Mr. Royals, another question. Looking at this photo, which shows the lawn mowing equipment
Yes, sir.
in the driveway,
Yes, sir.
I assume that's readily visible from the street.
Absolutely.
I'm just wondering if we don't have a land development code violation here in addition to the other violations. There's no code provision that violates?
If he was to have a business tax receipt he would be in violation of Section 5, because a home occupation is not just supposed to show any outward indication that there's a business being conducted there. However, he doesn't have a business tax receipt, so technically he has no home occupation.
Okay. In due time, then.
Yes, sir. That will come, hopefully. The next pictures, Your Honor, we'll see or were taken this morning. Again, the trucks were all in line. The one thing I do regret when I stopped there, because these trucks are parked on the street and the neighbors have their cars parked on the street, it's virtually impossible to get down the street sometimes or to stop to take a picture. As I approached the residence this morning, that very large box trailer that was in some of the original pictures was in the driveway being loaded. And as I attempted to get a picture of it, my camera went dead. So I had to go around the corner because I couldn't stop there. I changed the batteries in the camera, and as I went back around the block, the truck was, the trailer was leaving. But by testimony, I can tell Your Honor that it was definitely there being loaded. And Your Honor can see the photos of all the other equipment and trucks that were on the street. The case, Your Honor, is a little different for us because, as Your Honor has pointed out, for parking, your hands are tied, more or less, what you can do for a parking violation. But for the 4619, we would appreciate Your Honor finding that they are definitely in violation of that, and that is a code that Your Honor can impose a daily fine on.
All right. Anything else on behalf of the city?
No, sir.
Again, is there anyone here on behalf of Mr. or Mrs. Herring? All right. I'm going to find that the Miss Randall Herring and Susan Herring have been given proper notice of violation. They've been given notice of this hearing, that they are indeed in violation of Section 46-19 of Ovida's Code of Ordinances, that they're also in violation of Section 50-49B of the city's Code of Ordinances. From what I can see, it looks like the violations are flagrant, which makes me inclined to levy the maximum fines that I can. Unfortunately, this is a situation where I don't think the fines are really adequate for the problem. I'm going to how many different occasions can we document that they've had the vehicles on the street? Have you counted those up, Mr. Orioles? Okay. So I'm going to impose a fine of 5 times $30 for those occasions, and I assume the dates are on the photographs. That's $150. I'm going to suggest to the City of Oviedo Police Department that they patrol that street regularly and that they place citations each and every time that they find a vehicle in violation. And then we'll take those up as we reach them. On the subject of the failure to obtain a business tax receipt, excuse me while I get this stuff back in order here. It looks like, from looking at Section 4619 and 4622, that the penalties for failing to register and pay the business tax is fairly limited. It says any person who engages in any business, occupation, or profession covered by this article who does not pay the required tax within 150 days after the initial notice of tax due, and who does not obtain the required receipt, is subject to civil actions and penalties, including court costs, reasonable attorney's fees, additional administrative cost incurred as a result of collection efforts, and a penalty of up to $250. It also provides in subsection 4622B, any person who engages in or manages any business, occupation, or profession without first obtaining a business tax receipt, if required, is subject to a penalty of 25% of the tax due in addition to any other penalty. First, do we know what the tax due would be? That has to be calculated based on the business, does it not? Well, in my order, I'm going to provide that I'm going to order them to comply, and I'm going to require in the order that they pay a penalty of 25% of the tax that would ordinarily be due. I'm also going to recite in the order that their 150 days began on the date of the notice of violation, and that 150 days from that date, should the city bring this matter back to me, it is my intention to impose a fine of $250 plus court cost, attorney's fees, and any additional administrative cost. So if and when that comes back, I would suggest to the city that they be prepared to show me what those costs are. Also going to provide that this order may be recorded in the public records of Seminole County and shall constitute notice to all subsequent purchasers and be binding upon the respondent. The order shall be effective on the date it's filed in the office of the city clerk. All right, anything else on that one? All right, I'll enter an appropriate order and deliver it to Mr. O'Rourke for service. All right, the next item on the agenda is apparently a Massey hearing, case number CE 15-000003. That's Timothy J. Shea, 189 Winding Oaks Lane, Oviedo, Florida, 32765. Tax parcel ID 15-21-31-519-0000-0370. Who's going to make the presentation on behalf of the city? Mr. Orioles again? You've already been sworn. Anyone here today on behalf of Mr. Shea? All right, I note that no one is appearing. All right, Mr. Orioles, what's the situation on this one?
Yes, sir. The situation in plain language, Your Honor, is it is not in compliance. It was not in compliance as of June 30th. Your Honor had ordered. I spoke to Mr. Shea yesterday, and he told me he was going to be here. He's not. He did secure a permit and has paid for a fence. The permit was issued yesterday. I have a printout showing that it was put in the system yesterday. So Mr. Shea's intentions are good, but he just missed his deadline.
Well, of course, the object of this is to obtain compliance. It appears we're on the way to that.
Yes, sir.
Would the city have any objection to continuing the matter for 30 days to see if he complies, and then decide at that point in time whether to do a Massey order?
I would not have any objection. No, sir.
All right, but I'm going to enter an order continuing the Massey proceeding till the next regular meeting. I'll have to look at the calendar to see when that is. Well, actually, I think I better put a date in there. Continuing it until August 23rd. Is that a weekday? Well, let's do it August 24th then. That'd give us time to, well, no, August 22, 21. Yeah, that would be fine. That would give us time if we have to bring it up at the next hearing to get out a notice.
Yes, sir.
But I know this particular respondent's had some real financial difficulties based on what I heard at the last hearing. And hopefully they'll come into compliance. I would hate to impose a large fine that is counterproductive.
We concur, sir.
Yeah, so we'll just continue this matter until August 21.
Thank you.
Anything else on the Shea matter?
No, sir.
Anything else to come before the special magistrate today? All right, we are adjourned.